Hello everyone and welcome to the channel, Mr. List Superb. In this video we'll list the cast of the 2002 American superhero film, Spider-Man. We'll compare how they looked back then to how they look now, and we'll also reveal their real names and current ages. Stay tuned and watch until the end. Peter Parker. Peter was a teenage high school student and an orphan raised by his aunt and uncle in New York City after his parents died in a plane crash. He acquired superhuman abilities after being bitten by a genetically modified spider. He develops spider-like powers and starts battling crime as a masked hero. He also works as a photographer for the Daily Bugle. He was portrayed by Tobey Maguire, who was 27 years old then and 49 years old now. Norman Osborn. Norman Osborn, also known as the Green Goblin, is the main villain in the film. He's a rich businessman, the CEO of Oscorp, and the father of Harry Osborn. After using the Goblin serum, Norman starts hearing voices and acting strangely. Though he doesn't notice it at first, the serum messes with his mind, creating a second personality, the evil and dangerous Green Goblin, who is like a dark version of himself. The character was played by Willem Dafoe, who was 47 years old then and 69 years old now. Mary Jane Watson. Mary Jane Watson is Peter Parker's childhood crush and neighbor. She dreams of becoming an actress and struggles with personal issues at home. Throughout the film, she plays the role of the love interest, often caught between Peter and Spider-Man, unaware they're the same person. Her connection with Peter deepens as she begins to admire Spider-Man, not knowing Peter is the one behind the mask. The character was portrayed by Kirsten Dunst, who was 20 years old then and 42 years old now. Harry Osborn. Harry Osborn is Peter Parker's best friend and the son of Norman Osborn. He comes from a wealthy family but struggles with feeling overshadowed by his father. Harry dates Mary Jane, which creates tension with Peter, who also has feelings for her. Throughout the film, Harry tries to prove himself to his father and be a loyal friend, but he's unaware that his father is the Green Goblin. The character was portrayed by James Franco, who was 24 years old then and 47 years old now. Ben Parker. Uncle Ben was Peter Parker's uncle and the husband of Aunt May. He and Aunt May took care of their nephew, Peter Parker, in the absence of his parents. He acted as a father figure to Peter throughout his upbringing. Uncle Ben was eventually shot by a carjacker. He was portrayed by Cliff Robertson, who was 79 years old at the time and passed away on September 10, 2011 at the age of 88. He died from natural causes. May Parker. May Parker, commonly known as Aunt May, was a housewife who was widowed after the death of Uncle Ben. She offered Peter encouragement with her wise words, as Uncle Ben had done before his death, even managing to make him try to return to his life as Spider-Man after he had given up the role. The character was played by Rosemary Harris, who was 75 years old at the time and would be 97 years old now. Jonah Jameson. Jonah Jameson is a loud, outspoken man who provides much of the film's comic relief. He holds a strong grudge against Spider-Man and takes pleasure in anything that could tarnish or slander the hero's reputation. The character was played by J.K. Simmons, who was 47 years old at the time and would be 70 years old now. Flash Thompson. Flash Thompson is a high school bully and one of Peter Parker's classmates. He frequently picks on Peter, especially because of his quiet nature and awkwardness. Flash has a crush on Mary Jane Watson and often teases Peter about his feelings for her. Despite his antagonistic behavior, Flash's role is mostly comedic, adding to the tension in Peter's school life. The character was played by Joe Manganiello, who was 26 years old at the time and would be 48 years old now. Joseph Robbie Robertson. Robbie Robertson was a senior editor at the New York newspaper, the Daily Bugle, and was a trusted ally of its publisher, J. Jonah Jameson. Although Jameson despised Spider-Man, Robertson consistently argued that Spider-Man was a hero, not the menace Jameson believed him to be. The character was played by Bill Nunn, who was 49 years old at the time, but passed away on September 24, 2016. At the age 62, cause of death, leukemia. Maximilian Fargus. Maximilian Fargus is a 50s business executive who serves on the board of Oscorp. He and the other board members decided to accept a buyout proposal from Quest, infuriating Norman, who was informed he was expected to step down. This choice leads to Norman plotting to transform into the antagonist, who will soon be known as the Green Goblin. The character was played by Jerry Becker, who was 51 years old at the time but passed away on April 13, 2019. At the age 68, he died from complications of diabetes. Henry Balkan. Henry Balkan was a 70s executive who sat on the board of Oscorp Technologies alongside Maximilian Fargus and wealthy company founder Norman Osborn. The character was played by Jack Betts, who was 73 years old at the time and would be 96 years old now. General Slocum. General Slocum joined Oscorp Technologies, but he didn't support Osborn's business because his predecessors had informed him of many of the schemes Osborn used to keep his business running. Slocum was later killed after the Green Goblin attacked the trial run. Before his death, he expressed his disdain for Osborn. The character was played by Stanley Anderson, who was 63 years old at the time but passed away on June 24, 2018. At the age 78, he died of brain cancer. Dr. Mendel Stromm. Dr. Mendel Stromm is a scientist who works alongside Norman Osborn at Oscorp. Although he was not fully confident in any of Oscorp's dangerous experiments, he made sure progress was made. He cared about his colleague and boss, Norman Osborn, to a loyal extent. Stromm was Norman Osborn's favorite employee and worked with him on the Goblin Serum until Norman killed him during the serum's testing. The character was played by Ron Perkins, who was 41 years old at the time and would be 64 years old now. Carjacker Dennis Carradine. He was a criminal who often robbed and mugged many people with his partner, Flint Marco. Dennis was responsible for Ben Parker's death. The character was played by Michael Papajohn, who was 38 years old at the time and would be 60 years old now. Simkins. Like many fellow assistants, Simkins typically behaves in a laid-back manner, even around anyone. At times, she can be strong-willed and panicky when faced with something truly serious. The character was played by K.K. Dodds, who was 37 years old at the time and would be 60 years old now. Hoffman. Hoffman works at the Daily Bugle as Jonah Jameson's assistant. Hoffman's main role is to be the nervous, eager-to-please sidekick to Jameson, often humorously shot down when pitching ideas. The character was played by Ted Raimi, who was 37 years old at the time and would be 59 years old now. The ring announcer. He introduced Peter Parker as Spider-Man to the wrestling crowd. He plays a small but iconic role when Peter Parker first tests out his powers in a wrestling match. Peter initially introduces himself as the Human Spider, but the announcer has other plans, introducing him as the Amazing Spider-Man. The character was played by Bruce Campbell, who was 44 years old at the time and would be 66 years old now. Miss Brant. She works as J. Jonah Jameson's secretary at the Daily Bugle. Brant was usually seen either passing on messages to Jameson or receiving curt orders from him. While she and Peter never pursue a romantic relationship, there's a quiet mutual attraction hinted at between them. The character was played by Elizabeth Banks, who was 28 years old at the time and would be 51 years old now. Houseman. He is the Osborn family butler who serves Norman Osborn and later continues to look after Harry Osborn. In the movies, he is portrayed as loyal, quiet, and kind. He tells Harry that his father's wounds were caused by his own glider, not by Spider-Man, helping Harry reconcile with Peter and ultimately join him in the final battle. The character was played by John Paxton, who was 82 years old at the time, but passed away on November 17, 2011, at the age of 91. Cause of death is unknown. Philip Watson. Philip Watson was the abusive, alcoholic father of Mary Jane Watson. He is depicted as an abusive, aggressive, and emotionally neglectful father, contributing to Mary Jane's struggles with self-worth and her desire to escape her home life. The character was played by Tim DeZarn, who was 50 years old at the time and would be 72 years old now. Thanks for watching, guys. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe for more.